Good Monday morning on this August 11th. Can't believe it's August 11th already. Thank you for joining us on our all streaming platform. Hope everyone had a super weekend. And we'll get things started. Good morning to you, Paul, Cheyenne, Kelly. Got some folks here on the stream. We appreciate all of you. If you have some questions there on Facebook, I can see that and I'll share information with you. All right, let's take a look. As far as the heat alerts are concerned, we're in pretty good shape, even though we're going to be above normal temperature-wise, but got some alerts down through Louisiana, Vicksburg, Greenwood, Mississippi, and then where you would expect it out in the desert southwest. But some of these areas, if you're heading out to California, will be dropping below normal in the next few weeks. The air quality is pretty good. The heat index forecast is up a bit today, but not what we experienced in late July. I'll take this full here for a moment. Overall, the feel-like temperature, of course, you have overall football, you got soccer, cross country. Some of these teams have been out there during the morning hours, so the heat index generally in a range there of about 95 up to 100. Cheryl, Stephen, Denise, Josh, Cindy, good morning. Big shout out. Good Monday morning, everybody. So there's a look at the heat index forecast. Now taking a look at our rain and storm chances as we go through the week. Now we're going to have a fair amount of sunshine this time of year where we have a fair amount of sun. So we're looking at a 10% chance this afternoon, a 30% probability on Tuesday. We made some adjustments on 14 News Sunrise. I took it from 20 up to 30 on the latest guidance and a 40% chance on Wednesday. So we get some questions. When you adjust the forecast, we have information that comes in each hour, so we can even make adjustments while we're in programming. Threat for severe weather, maybe covering the Illinois counties north of Interstate 64. Had quite a bit of flooding in Milwaukee. They had 11 inches of rain over the weekend. So kind of along the U.S.-Canadian border. Of course, they had that level 3 threat for a few days up towards about Bismarck, and then down through Oklahoma, Texas, up to east there. You know, you get down through Roswell, New Mexico, and points to our in the desert southwest. Nothing on Doppler radar. We had some showers earlier down through Mammoth Cave in Edmonson County. You see on the visible satellite a few clouds there in Grayson County. Those showers had fizzled. Nothing's reaching the ground here in northern stretches of Gallatin County. So widen it out. They did end the severe thunderstorm watches for Wichita, covering Kansas down to about Ponca City, Oklahoma. And some of the outflow from those storms are out eastern Kansas, Topeka, Lawrence, and then out through Kansas City. And there was a little bit of lightning. I should have made a stop there as you get up to about Joliet, Illinois. Like to show the almanac page on Monday, headed for a high of 93 this afternoon, off a low of 70. 101 the record in 1930. I think by the 12th and 13th, temperatures drop into the upper 70s in 1930. A little weather history for you. You know, the first 5 days in August were pretty quiet, below normal, and the heat's been on, but we haven't had any mid to upper 90s as of yet. And we've only had a scant 1300ths in the rain gauge so far here for the month of August. And we'll take a look at some trends here in a moment as far as August is concerned. All right, let's run down some current temps. Overall, mainly clear skies out there right now. 77 at Evansville, 78 in Madisonville. And we had a little bit of fog down through Greenville this morning. So the muggy meter up a little bit from the end of last week at 71. So that's pretty standard for this time of the year. Here is the trend, though. The 6 and 10-day outlooks are going to be above normal. I mentioned the west out towards LA, San Francisco, they're actually going to be dropping below normal, even catching Lake Havasu down in Arizona, and then up to Portland and Seattle in those locations. But for our area, we have red across the board. Now, this is an outlook. Most days, not all of them, are going to be guiding above average. And then as we go into the 21st, this just worked in here from the Climate Prediction Center as far as precipitation, kind of near to slightly above average. So we haven't had 1 month this year. All the first 7, of course we have a ways to go here in August, all of them have been above average, but we've been fairly dry here since about July 20th during that time frame. All right, the drought monitor, we're good to go. Corn and soybeans looking good out there. So the abnormally dry areas are outside of our area. Typically during this time of year, we're at least abnormally dry, but not this year. Hour by hour, up to about 90 to 93 during the afternoon hours. Here's the latest guidance. Winds will be turning more out of the southwest. 10% chance of a little pop-up shower or storm during the afternoon. And if we catch one, I'm not anticipating anything in the way of severe weather. As we go through Tuesday, watch what happens as we go to Tuesday afternoon. We start to see a few showers and storms. Nothing here to indicate anything in the way of severe thunderstorms, and we're not risked as such. This is the trend through Wednesday. This takes us into Tuesday night. Boy, ball fields are busy during this time of the year. And then on Tuesday, those severe weather threats confined to between about north of Milwaukee up to about Green Bay, Wisconsin, and then catching areas there in the Upper Peninsula. And then Wednesday, more of the same. The best setup for some isolated showers and storms will be during the afternoon and evening. 7-day forecast, 93 for this afternoon. I'm going to take this full. We're going to keep it nice and pithy today. 91 Tuesday. Then the heat's on, 95 Saturday, 94 Sunday. So everything that I'm looking at, this is not going to mature into a major heat wave based on what we're looking at. Maybe we're about 9-10 days away from dropping in the mid to upper 80s overall. But that's the theme as we go through the week. Now, it's hard to beat that first weekend in August when we had high temps in the lower 80s. I appreciate all of you. Mitch, in case, they just gave me the hard rap. All kidding aside, they are here. They'll have more and taking a look at the news in a moment.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Well, good morning, and thanks for joining us here for the news portion of our 8:30 stream show. It is Monday, August 11th. I'm Mitch Carter.
That's right, August 11th. Hard to believe. I'm Casey Mason. We are getting into August. It's flying by. Schools have started. That's kind of the theme of the stories that we've decided to pull for you today. Hope you all had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'll let you take this one away, Mitch.
Sounds good. Yeah, starting off here in Kentucky. Today is the first day of classes now for those at Brescia University. This year, the school is celebrating its 100th year after being founded back in 1925. Quick little bit of math there for you. The big year also comes with new leadership. As we reported back in December, Father Larry Hostetter announced he was stepping down as president after 18 years. In his place, the board chose to elect Madison Silvert. When we spoke to the newly appointed president back in December, this is what he had to say.
Starting our second century, and so with that is, I think, a great opportunity for us to reimagine what a Catholic post-secondary education can look like. I can tell you this, the Catholic identity of this university under my leadership isn't going to miss a beat.
An inauguration ceremony for Silvert is happening on Friday. Starts with the Mass at 11 o'clock, followed by the ceremony there and then a family picnic.
And, since we are keeping things in the theme of school, also happening this week, future and returning, I've heard you say Screagles, Screaming Eagles, are getting ready to move in at the University of Southern Indiana. I went to college there, and I never heard someone say Screagles.
Yeah, that's kind of
a
newer thing,
yeah.
And I don't think everybody likes it.
I
don't know.
I'll take it. Again, as an alumni, I think it's pretty cool to hear. Early move-in actually began over the weekend. There you see some folks moving in, and then throughout this week, all those new students, transfer students, and of course you returning students will all be moving in there on campus. Meanwhile, classes are set to start back up next Monday, August 18th. As I said, I graduated from USI. Big shout out there to the Eagles. I remember move-in day my freshman year. It was so exciting, and we actually were put in literally the very last building on campus, and it was the original buildings, the really old ones. I don't even know if they're still out there. They may have been condemned at this point. We'll see. No, just kidding. But it was so cool because, it's like your first college experience, and then you just get to get settled in, then start classes.
Right,
So,
right. I went to Ball State up north in Muncie, Indiana, go Cardinals, and the dorm I lived in is no longer there. I was the last person to live there. It was La Follette, one of the original dorms there. It didn't have AC.
Oh, wow.
The heat barely
Wow.
works. We moved in August for football practice, and we had no AC in our dorm for all year, but it was great. I ended up getting a window unit courtesy of the student health department thing up there. It was great. I think I remember I went for my physical, and they knew I was playing sports and everything, and the lady there, I'll love her forever, was like, do you need, because it costs more for AC.
airflow?
Yeah, exactly. She was like, do you have allergies? I was like, no. She's like, well, you might need AC for allergies. I was like, I don't have allergies. She goes, you have allergies.
I
I
think
was
we
like,
think
you got it.
have allergies,
Yeah.
Mitch Carter.
So I ended up having a
That's
nice AC
hilarious.
unit. It was nice. It was super fun. But yeah, my dorm no longer exists, so I'm right there with you.
I may have to drive out there and check it out because I am curious after reading these stories today. And since we're talking stories here, I will say the building I lived in, it even had the original shag carpet. That
Nice.
one of the students was like, yeah, my dad lived
Sweet.
in these, and said, that's the same carpet. But with my roommate and I, we were actually one of the few rooms that got new carpet. So we lucked out because
Very
I don't
nice.
want to know what that shag carpet's been. Well, I tell you what, since we're talking back to school here, we want to share one more thing with you guys. Let me pull up this full screen here with the information you need to know. We want to see your back to school pictures. Hey, Mitch, maybe we'll upload a sweaty first day of photo from
Maybe,
you with no air
maybe.
conditioning at Ball State. So to upload your students' back to school picture, just head to 14news.com or the 14 News app. Be sure to include their name and their school so we know who we're shouting out. Of course, we ask no professional photos because we can't use those due to trademark reasons and things like that. So just a casual first day of photo, student's name, where they're heading, and hey, if their name is unique, go ahead and tell us how to pronounce it too, so we don't
Much appreciated.
we don't
yes.
get that wrong on air and you're mad at us. Well, these will continue airing on 14 News Sunrise through the end of the month. So yeah, be sure to send those in if you guys would like to see your students on TV. So
There you go.
kinda
Easy
cool
peasy.
thing.
We
I
do-
love that we do that. I
Yeah,
think
do
it's
that
really
every
neat.
year. It's super, super cool.
Yeah.
People enjoy seeing that. We enjoy seeing your kids out there. Right now, though, 8:42 coming up on 8:43. It's a
right.
Monday. It is August 11th here, but it's certainly a Monday for us. The same it is for you guys. We've been here for several hours already.
That's right. It's
I'm ready to wrap this
lunchtime.
up if you
Let's
are.
do it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
let's
And then
do it.
Denise McCarty, good morning to you. Thank
Morning,
you
Denise.
for your comment today. Well, let's get out of here. And yeah, you guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place.
Sounds good. We appreciate you. See you guys bright and early on Tuesday.